So, Andre has continued to make plays in the punting game. You talked about the chemistry between the Gunners and Aaron thus far.
Yeah, Andre's been playing outstanding. It was a heck of a pickup from our management to get him. And Tyler Brown, like I keep reiterating, he works with him. He comes in after the games, and they just try to get ahead of it. But Andre and Aaron, everyone works hand in hand. I mean, all 11 have to work hand in hand, especially in punt. Aaron can't hit a good punt if the guys don't protect for him. Andre and Zach can't make plays if Aaron doesn't give them a good ball to go cover. So it's a whole team dynamic, and we've really worked that, from training camp to today when we were working in our plus 50s type area. So the more and more we get more comfortable with each other, it becomes second nature, and it's just less stress for everyone. And we just go out there and have fun making plays.
Mike, Andre was signed at a position where you guys were thin at the time and had some injuries, but when you guys brought him in, were you aware of his special teams acumen and that he would be this good?
I knew about Andre. Obviously, I was in San Francisco when he was at San Jose State, and I went to his pro day, so I knew about him. It's funny. We actually we practiced against Houston when he was a rookie, so I've always remembered Andre. But there wasn't a lot of tape on him in terms of game type situations, just here and there in preseason. But just like everybody in this league, they're all pros, and they want to do what's best for everyone, and that's winning football games. So him performing at this level is not a shock to me, but it's a very pleasant. It's pleasant to see out of him and for everyone else out there.
Mike, when you got here and Aaron was signed to the futures deal, how much did you know about him as a punter?
I knew about Aaron, being at the Combine. We took Mitch in San Francisco the year before, but I was still there, and I really liked what he did at the Combine. Obviously, he had the COVID year, so you really didn't get to see a lot of the pro days and stuff like that. But with Aaron, he's come in and has been a pro's pro. Like I reiterated a few weeks ago, he's not a rookie. He comes in, he's trying to get better. He wants to help the team. And overall, he's just a really good guy, and it's a pleasure to work with. And he just wants to keep learning and be a sponge and soak up as much information as possible. And it helps having Rick and Jake, who's been doing it for some time, to come in. And he's done an outstanding job both punting and holding.
Mike, what are the teaching points with Jalen Reagor returning punts in terms of whether he goes horizontally to try to make a play or goes vertically to pick up a few easy yards?
Yeah, with Jalen, he's done an outstanding job really catching the ball. And as for everyone else, it's on me to put everybody else in a better spot so he can pick up yards. He's a dynamic athlete. He's trying to do what he can out there, and he's going to come. But it comes to me, getting these guys in better positions, better personnel matchups, and just getting as many yards as possible. Brian Anger did a heck of a job last Monday night. Punting the ball towards the sidelines. When you hit the ball towards the sideline, it kind of cuts off 3/4 of the field. So Jalen wants to make a play, but it's more just him, understanding, hey, let me just get what I can. And that's on me, getting the other 10 guys to block for him, get him, a couple open lanes so he can find those lanes and get down the field.
On that first return where it looked like he might have had some yards to the sideline and he broke it back in, what would you like to see him do on that play?
First off, it starts off, we got to get that gunner taken care of. I think it would have cleaned up the picture a little bit more. And that's for myself, getting, guys' hands on them and just, allowing everybody else to see the whole picture. So they have to see what Jalen sees. What Jalen sees is, all right, I got to catch this ball, and his eyes transfer down from not catching the ball to the coverage. Oh, there's a guy in my face. Let me go sideways to make him miss, which he did. But when we do that, it allows everybody else from the interior trying to cover down right there. So if we're able to stop a gunner, 10 yards away from him, he sees now an open lane where he could just put his foot in the ground and go get it. So it's on me to get these guys in the best personnel matchups so Jalen could see the picture and having lanes to run down there.
You were here when LaShawn McCoy was in his final year. Obviously, he's retiring tomorrow. As a defensive quality control coach, you probably watched a lot of him versus scout team. What was that like? How dynamic of a player was he even in practice?
LaShawn, once again, is one of the greater running backs, at least for my generation, to see the stuff he could do, the shiftiness, the way he just carried himself. It was almost like he had his own persona out there that everybody knew. He had his own nickname, Shady. When you heard Shady, you're like, oh, this guy can really go. So it was, as a young guy, seeing a running back like that, it was something that I'll probably remember for the rest of my life. And glad he's retiring as an Eagle, as he should. He's been one of the more prolific running backs in the last decade or so. or decade, 15 years or so, in just, you know, creating explosive plays. Obviously, you guys know from the snow game. I mean, nobody could touch him in that snow game. It's just something that some people have, and he had that. And he, you know, very thankful to see him in that light, and he had a heck of a career.
Dave Toub has a reputation of being one of the best special teams coordinators in the NFL. How does that show up when you're watching tape? I mean, how does that manifest itself?
You know, Dave, you know, he's done a heck of a job for, you know, so long, 20 plus years being a coordinator. He puts the guys in the right spot. He puts his athletes, you know, those returners. I mean, you used to look down that line of returners he has, starting off with Hester, even going all the way through. I mean, he gets those guys the ball and puts them in right spots, but he gets the other guys to block for him and play hard. You know, you rarely see anybody get big chunk yards on him, and it's going to be a huge test for us to help this team in terms of taking care of that third phase. So Dave, I have nothing but respect for him because he's been doing it for so long at such a high level. He just is able to put guys in the right spot, and they're playing at a high level for him. So we got to match that intensity to help our team out in that phase.
Hey Mike, just going back to Aaron really quick, for a technicality perspective for us non-punters, what has he done well in regards to creating that backspin, you know, be able to drop it, you know, and obviously not have it roll forward, go backward?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I'm not a punter either, so. But with him, I mean, it's just working at it. It's no different than anybody, you know, a free throw shooter. I'm sure Steph Curry goes through all of his stuff to be a 90% plus free throw shooter. No different than a golfer. I mean, they just keep on going, and then we just work these things from his field punts to his rugby punts. You know, sometimes the wind changes how low he drops it, how high he drops it. It's just one of those things where they're so intricate in what they do. It's such a specialized skill that you really can't pinpoint, you know, hey, he's hitting the ball like this, he's hitting like that, he's dropping it like this. It's just a natural feel for him. And kudos to him. He's done a heck of a job in the plus 50 area, helping our defense out, give a long field. So hopefully we'll keep that up. But once again, it takes all 10. It takes 8 to protect, takes the 2 gunners to go down there and make a play, as you can see AC and Zach. Then it takes Aaron to give us the right hang time and placement to get down there.
You mentioned Rick before. Nobody ever talks about the long snapper. When they do, it's because they did something bad. What's it like to have that comfort level, to have that consistency?
It's great. I have a soft spot in my heart for long snappers. I did it as a freshman in college, so being able to see these guys do it so well, I mean, you see these guys, it's you got to be perfect as a long snapper, and he takes pride in what he does. I mean, his short snaps to his long snaps to get in protection to getting in on some tackles. I mean, he takes pride in it, and we joke around with Rick. You know, we have some nicknames for Rick. But when he comes on Sunday or Monday or Thursday night, Saturday night, he comes ready to play, and he's one of those really good long snappers in this league and just doing his job really well.
Some of the nicknames?
Huh?
Can you give us some of the nicknames?
Oh, on Sunday we call him Cleaner Rick. He just cleans it up. He does everything right, and he just gets it done. So Cleaner Rick on Sundays.
How did you do as a long snapper?
Just like Rick does. He doesn't get talked about, so I must be doing something right. But luckily for me, they brought in an actual long snapper, and I went back to my playing days of linebacker. But I actually liked it. In college, you don't get touched. You kind of just run down free, so it's nice to not get a 6'5", 290-pound guy trying to beat you up. In college, you're just kind of running free, which is nice.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
it.